There we go. Flipped on, you see the message there, battery conditioning activated for optimal charging, I think it said. And you've got your battery care. It jumps right up to 5 kilowatts. Hey and welcome back to Plug and Play EV and our first test of the battery preconditioning on our early model year 2022 Hyundai IONIQ 5. Just before Christmas, the word came through on the forums that the preconditioning would be made available via US dealers at the moment, and I believe Canadian dealers will get this in January 2023. But for the moment, we're obviously eager to jump on it. One of those things that has kind of slowed us down on some of our trips in the winter, not to a point where it's been horrendous, but certainly something I was excited to get out there, get installed and test as soon as we could. So I won't waste any time here, we'll jump right into the battery preconditioning for our 2022 Hyundai IONIQ 5 all-wheel drive. Let's go. EV settings here. At the moment we only have winter mode, which is supposedly to improve battery performance at cold temperatures, but it seems to be very low. Doesn't help at all with fast charging in all of the testing we've done. And there is in the app, which I'll put a screenshot over, a battery preconditioning option, all grayed out, doesn't work, and it wasn't shipped with early model year 22 IONIQ 5s. The all-wheel drive version is the only version that's getting that. But it did start shipping. One's manufactured around June, July 2022, but that was not us. We got ours back in March here, and we want that battery preconditioning. So the update has come. We'll put some of the details on the screen here for anyone with an all-wheel drive that was manufactured kind of before the started shipping with battery preconditioning. But today is the day to hopefully get that update along with regular service at 15,000 mile check. Although we're 18,000 miles now. Okay, it got dark while we waited, but here we are. EV settings, battery conditioning, happy days. So it's on right now. Used during the winter, low temperatures to maintain driving performance and shorten DC charging time. However, using the feature and setting a DC charging station as a destination will reduce the driving range due to the vehicle preparing for DC battery charging conditions. That makes sense. You can see winter mode has disappeared here, which kind of shows that that was broadly useless. Nothing else is new as far as I can tell. Still got utility mode. So nothing changed except for this battery conditioning. So we'll see if we get a chance to test that tonight. No more winter mode, which did bugger all until you were at a very low temperature. Battery conditioning will actually do something. We have at least tested it in terms of activating en route to a charger, even though we didn't charge. So this will be the first play around with it since getting it a couple of days ago. But to level set and get some baseline metrics, we've got the battery on a cold pack. Coldish, not terrible. It's only 40 degrees Fahrenheit here, so not below freezing yet, but cold enough for the pack not to like it. This will inhibit fast charging, so it is still a relatively high state of charge at 62%, but we should see the pack limit itself. It should be capable of up to 170 on these newer 150 kilowatt stations for the Electrify America. We've seen that here before. 60% might be asking a bit too much to get anywhere near that high even with a warm pack, but as it stands right now, we'll see the heater going to work because it's plugged in. So the battery heater right now is just sitting around the battery average. It's not much different. That will start going up as we plug in here, but then usually that's the only way you can get it to activate. When you're trying to fast charge, and then you wait 10-20 minutes for it to really build this up to the kind of 70 degrees range where it wants to be. So we will plug it in here, just get a baseline charge, and then we'll go somewhere a bit more powerful and hopefully arrive at a lower state of charge to see how it differs once we've had the battery conditioning in operation. We'll just pop in via the Electrify America Android Auto app. This is the Bank of America in Arlington, Massachusetts. All available all 150 kilowatts except for the Chademo at 50 kilowatts. This is number 2, right in the middle. They've only got 3 here for some reason. There was a flat stall just at the bottom here, but no extra charger was added. But this is what we've got. So if I press that, we'll plug in. Okay, so fairly straightforward process, but we'll see here. This is the thing we want to watch, and crucially this actually. Don't tend to get this on a lot of these stations, but maybe they've put software in here at this because it's a relatively newly activated. See how little the vehicle is asking for. And the difference here is most likely to be it giving the car a little extra for 2 or 3 kilowatts for that battery heater. For whatever reason, it's not showing me the heating element there now. That did used to come up. Maybe it still will, but I'm not seeing it happen just yet. But the heater's going to work. The battery average will start to rise, and its other minimum and maximum temperatures, and it'll try and get us to a better power level here. This is obviously not great. I just wanted to set this level as this is the kind of stuff you'll see, you know, in the IONIQ 5 without preconditioning. Could be 40, could be 60, 70. Either way, it's you know, significantly slower, 2 or 3 times slower than you'll see in the warmer months, and that's why we've got this preconditioning update to hopefully make that better. So we'll get unplugged here. Okay, so 65%. We only added a couple of percent there. But we already got the pack heater firing up to 64. Let's see if that gives us any more information now that we're unplugged. Oh, missed it. Not really. Only the electronics working right now, so nothing of interest there, but we'll keep it on this screen because you'll see once we get navigating here, this will turn into 4 or 5 kilowatts from what I've seen so far. The one limitation here might be that the station I was thinking of probably isn't in the navigation yet because it only came on a week or 2 ago. So this is showing me only fast chargers, and they will predominantly be Electrify America. Maybe because I put the filter for Electrify America. It's an EVgo is the 350 kilowatt that I want, but somehow I doubt that'll be there. This is an EVgo just down the road from this location. That's in there because that's been there forever. That's not great, but what I could do is set it to a destination that's in the same direction, but not actually there. It's at Logan Airport, so maybe the Dorchester one will be a bit closer. We'll take that one. That's south of Boston, but Boston Logan is where we're actually headed. This should still give us the desired effect. See, it goes through Boston. The one at Logan is somewhere over here, so that's going to fire up. You do need to do it on the native navigation. That's the only limitation here. If you don't like using the native navigation, you're going to be out of luck because that is the only way it will activate this. You can see how quickly the heaters come back down. Really didn't raise the pack temperature very much. Didn't make a huge difference to our effort. And now it's just going to stick at that. You know, it'll come back down closer to ambient. This will return closer to that 40, 39 degrees Fahrenheit that we're at externally here, but we'll start driving and we'll see when that turns on the battery heater and what it looks like here on the dash. Yep, there we go. Flipped on, you see the message there, battery conditioning activated for optimal charging, I think it said, and you've got your battery care. It jumps right up to 5 kilowatts. That was at 0 before that little symbol turned on. Now we're at 5, so let's get across to this location. I'll just follow the navigation for this stuff for the moment, and then we'll see where we are when we get down closer to Boston Logan. But for the moment, we're at 44 degrees. Okay, so success. Brand new, if not very heavily landscaped EVgo location with a couple of Signet units, but I'll have to get closer. Not all that familiar with the EVgo fast chargers, them not being particularly prevalent up here, but the battery heater is still at work. Temperature should be right where we want it to be now. It's still hitting that kind of 4.8 kilowatts. So in terms of torque pro, we're in a really good place. We're now in the 70s. We might want the minimum to be up there, but it'll be really close. The battery heater is really going to town. It's 107 degrees, 108 degrees coming up Fahrenheit, so it's not got any limitations on that by the looks of it. It's not scared about going to work. We're obviously pretty high in the pack still, so it's not going to have any worries about that. And we will look at these, see what we can do, and get plugged in. The other thing to note here is I have Autocharge activated on this now, so hopefully this will be simply a case of plugging in the CCS and going to town. Let's see. Plug in your visual and session will start automatically. That's the idea. Yep, there we go. Second to register what's going on, but very nice feature. And we can do, because of that, we can look right at the app here and see what we've got going on. Alright, and these nice new EVgo displays should help us see pretty clearly the advantage of battery conditioning on the way to the charger, albeit not this exact charger. This would not be happening if we were not in the battery preconditioning. So it may not get up to that super high level that we love to see, the 240, 230, but that is a great improvement, I think you'll agree, on 40 or 50 kilowatts. And let's jump in the car, just double check what we're getting. State of charge isn't ideal, these are 350 kilowatt stations, so that would be a better rate to get if we could get into the 200s, but this is really the effect here that the battery preconditioning is going to have on winter travel. It's giving us this ability to start the charge. Certainly in the 70s, you know, I took a while to get here and dinged around a little bit with the directions, so we probably would have been, had I just driven straight to the station and had it in the navigation as I would in Electrify America, we probably would have been high 60s, but it got it up there in the place, you know, the kind of time when you would want it. And if you're navigating to your location within that kind of half an hour period, and assuming it's not super cold, you know, today we're starting from a relatively advantageous 42 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees, whatever it was when we left. So that's not that low. It doesn't take as long, obviously, to get to that kind of 70 degree Fahrenheit marker once you're already starting from a decent level of 40, but you know, even then, even with 30 or 20 as it gets around here, fairly common, it's not going to be as bad. You're not going to see too much of a problem to get up to that kind of mid 60s, low 70s and start off with this kind of rate. Now we're going to see this taper now because of the higher state of charge, but this is kind of proving, and we'll do some more testing, but it's basically showing that we're going to be able to access those higher rates that the EGM platform allows in the IONIQ 5 thanks to this battery conditioning feature. Okay, so perfectly happy with that. Maybe we'll let it get up to a full 20% of charge. 56% starting, 76% finishing. Really nice screens here. There's a lot to be said for these EVgos. It's got a green when it's charging, which is a bit incongruous. I'd do the blue when I was charging and green when not, but looking good. And see where we end here at 76%. We'll get pretty close to 20 kilowatt hours delivered in well under 10 minutes. go. We'll stop it. Nice responsive touchscreen right away. Can't get a summary for whatever reason. And that was quick. That was super snappy. It didn't give me a summary, which I guess you might like, but you can have that in the app. That's looking good. Battery preconditioning successful. Autocharge on EVgo successful. And a happy IONIQ 5 owner. So all in all, a pretty successful test. Obviously not having that EVgo station in the native navigation caused a little bit of a workaround, but at the same time that's something that should be added in one of the navigation updates, and those do happen over the air now, so we should get that at some point. But obviously as more and more charging stations go into the ground next year, that's something we'll want to watch. You'll want to be able to navigate direct to your destination if you're not familiar with it, especially as you can't use Android Auto at the same time. Although that is something I would recommend Hyundai adds, because having the ability to use your Android Auto navigation at the same time as navigating to the charger in the native navigation would be something that would be useful. Results were good, an 8-minute session netting 18 kilowatt hours at roughly the same level of the pack as when it was cold soaked, and that EA session gave us 4 kilowatt hours over 5 minutes. Clearly shows the difference that makes. Obviously we've used up a bit of energy to get down there, but if you take the rate of 5 kilowatts as the power, in half an hour that's going to use around 2.5 kilowatt hours, and that's not extensive compared to the speeds that you're getting. You know, if it was 50-60 kilowatts on a cold pack and you're getting closer to 150-200 kilowatts at lower state of charge on a warm pack, you can see 3 to 4 times as fast is definitely something that's worth expending that little bit of energy for. We'll have to test some of the parameters, the distance to the charger, where it starts and where it cuts off, what level of state of charge you have to be at. If it's too low, will it cut off and slow you down? I think that's all been done in Europe, and there are probably some good videos on that, which I'll try and link down below. So much more to come on this, but for now, we're very happy to have it in the car and to fuel our road trips in 2023. If I don't make another video, or if you watch this one just before the new year, Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for watching this year, and we'll look forward to a lot more on the IONIQ 5 and EV charging in general in 2023. Cheers.